Jonas never planned to be a xenobiologist. He had joined the Interplanetary Research Corps after losing his brother in the Titan mining collapse, searching for meaning in the expanding universe. Most days were a blur of routine maintenance on biocapsules and scanning microbes from frozen asteroids. Nothing prepared him for the moment Commander Reyes summoned him with a terse, "You're assigned to a 17 effective immediately. Report to Containment Lab 6. Inside the lab, behind a shimmering energy barrier, was the girl. She looked about 15 by human standards. Her skin glowed faintly, iridescent, shifting from pale blue to violet as though light lived beneath it. Her eyes were enormous, silver, reflective like deep water. A thin lattice of bioluminescent lines traced her cheeks and arms, forming delicate constellations. But it wasn't her appearance that stopped Jonas in his tracks. It was how terrified she looked. 2 guards stood by the barrier with rifles slung over their shoulders. The girl sat curled on a low metal bench, arms wrapped tightly around herself. Her gaze darted to every sound, every footstep, every whisper of machinery. "Has anyone spoken to her?" Jonas asked. Reyes said, "We tried. She won't communicate. We don't know her intentions, her capabilities, or whether she's dangerous. Your job is to figure that out." Jonas approached the barrier slowly. The girl flinched at first, but when he knelt to be level with her, she peeked up at him through strands of pearlescent hair. "Hello," he said softly. The girl blinked, uncertain. Jonas pressed his palm gently against the barrier. She hesitated, then raised one trembling hand and mirrored him. For the briefest moment, their palms aligned through the flickering shield. Something unspoken passed between them. Fear, curiosity, maybe even hope. From that moment on, Jonas knew he wouldn't abandon her. Over the following weeks, Jonas visited a 17 every day. She began to trust him, inch by inch. He brought drawings, shapes, small objects, and observational recordings to help her form associations. Eventually she revealed her name, not through speech, but through a pattern of harmonic vibrations emitted from her throat. The translators rendered it as Lyrii. She was intelligent, gentle, and astonishingly perceptive. She learned visual symbols quickly and soon communicated with Jonas using a hybrid of gestures and digital projections. From her fragmented explanations, Jonas pieced together that she was the last survivor of a reconnaissance vessel that had been searching for a new home after her species' star collapsed. Something had attacked them in deep space, something she refused to describe, always trembling violently when he asked. Despite her progress, the rest of the facility remained afraid. Rumors spread that she could manipulate energy fields, that she emitted radiation, that she was telepathic. None of it was true, but fear didn't need truth to grow. When political tensions rose back on Earth, government officials declared Lyrii a potential threat. Protesters demanded she be exiled into deep space or dissected for military use. Scientists argued over ownership. Even the research station officers saw her as a liability. One night, Jonas found Reyes waiting for him outside the containment lab. "Orders from Earth," the commander said grimly. "They want her transferred to Black Unit." Black Unit. Jonas felt sick. It was a covert facility where living specimens went in and rarely came out. "No," Jonas said. "She isn't dangerous. She's a child." "She's not human," Reyes replied. "Our job is to protect humanity." But Jonas wasn't listening anymore. He rushed into the lab, where Lyrii stood trembling, sensing the tension in the air. The energy barrier had already been weakened. Preparation for the transfer. 2 guards moved toward her. Lyrii recoiled, eyes widening with panic. Sparks of violet light rippled across her skin. An involuntary reaction, not an attack, but the guards raised their weapons anyway. "Stop!" Jonas shouted, stepping between them. "You're scaring her." "She's resisting," one guard snapped. "She's afraid," Jonas corrected. The guards advanced. Lyrii let out a low, melodic cry, a sound of utter terror. Jonas held out his hand to her. "Lyrii," he whispered. "Come here. I won't let them take you." Her shimmering eyes locked onto his. Then she did something she had never done before. She reached out and took his hand. A shock of warmth flooded through him. Not painful, not harmful, just alive. Bioluminescent strands along her arm brightened where their skin met. For the first time, Lyrii wasn't alone. "Stand down," Jonas told the guards. "If you touch her, you'll have to go through me." The guards hesitated, uncertain. Then the station alarms blared. Something was approaching the research vessel. Something massive, fast, and invisible to the long-range scanners until the last second. A distortion like a gravitational ripple. "Presence." Reyes's voice echoed over the intercom. "All personnel to emergency positions. Unknown entity inbound." Lyrii's grip tightened painfully around Jonas's hand. She shook her head, eyes wide with recognition and dread. She projected a small hologram, an abstract sketch of a shadow consuming her ship. The thing that destroyed her people had found her. Ending. Chaos erupted across the station. Emergency lights flashed scarlet, and the hull groaned as the distortion wave pressed against it. Scientists and soldiers fled toward escape shuttles. No one cared about Lyrii anymore. They were too busy trying to save themselves. But Jonas stayed. "We have to move," he told her. "If that thing wants you, we can't let it find you." Lyrii pointed to the reactor core map, a maze of tunnels and conduits. She projected an image of a bright sphere, then a shield around it, then darkness swallowing the shield. Jonas understood. The station's reactor energy could cloak her presence temporarily. They sprinted through the corridors, alarms screeching overhead. The station shook violently as something scraped along the outer hull, an unnatural metallic shriek that made Jonas's skin crawl. At last they reached the reactor chamber. Lyrii approached the containment window, placing her palms against the glass. Her skin grew luminously bright, resonating with the reactor's energy waves. The chamber monitors flickered, then stabilized. "It's working," Jonas whispered. But Lyrii turned to him with a sorrowful expression. She pressed her forehead to his, a gesture he recognized from her memories, a farewell. "No," he said. "You're not sacrificing yourself. We'll find another way." She shook her head gently. The images she projected told the truth. The entity hunted her energy signature. The only way to stop it was to overload the station's core and release a massive pulse to drive it away. Someone had to stay behind to synchronize the energy frequencies. Someone with her unique biology. Jonas grabbed her shoulders. "Lyrii, you don't have to die. Please." Her silvery eyes softened. Then she took his hand for the final time and projected a single phrase in trembling human text. "Thank you for not abandoning me." A wave of blinding light erupted. Jonas awoke hours later on a rescue shuttle, pulled from the debris by survivors. The entity had vanished. The station was gone. And Lyrii had saved them all. He never forgot the warmth of her hand in his, nor the courage she showed when no one else believed in her. The universe had abandoned the alien girl,